A very warm welcome to everyone present here. I am Trishnita Bhattacharya and I will be your host for today's program. 2024 marks the culmination of 25 years of excellence that the Indian National Centre for Ocean Information Services has stood for. 25 years of hard work, 25 years of recognition, associations, service to this nation, and so much more. 25 years of contributions to science, technology, and innovation, and 25 years of pride for every single person who has been associated with this organization. As we start the celebration for Silver Jubilee on the 3rd of Feb, we start a long list of programs that we have planned with the I.O. Conference 2024, a prelude to the Ocean Decade Conference. Without further ado, I'd like to invite our dignitaries onto stage, accompanied by our Director Sir, Dr. T. Srinivas Kumar. I'd like to first invite Dr. Ravi Chandran, Secretary to the Government of India, MOES, to please grace the dais with his presence. Thank you, sir. I'd like now to invite Dr. Shubha Satyendra from PML, Plymouth Marine Laboratory. It's a pleasure, ma'am, to have you here again. Please accept my invitation to the stage. Thank you, ma'am. With equal pleasure, I invite Dr. Nadia Pinardi of the Decade Collaborative Center for Coastal Resilience, Italy, onto the stage. A warm welcome, ma'am. Now I'd like to invite Dr. Kilaparthi Ramakrishna from Woods Hole Oceanographic Institution to grace the stage. Thank you, sir, for being here with us. I'd also like to invite Dr. Peter Haugen from the Institute of Marine Research, Norway, to please grace the stage with his presence. Welcome, sir. Along with the dignitaries that we have on stage, we also have the pleasure of receiving recordings for a few more very important people. Unfortunately, they couldn't be here in person, but we have recorded special messages from Ms. Alison Clausen, Program Specialist of IOC UNESCO, from Dr. Yutaka Mishida, IOC UNESCO Chairperson, Mr. Vishal V. Sharma, India's Ambassador, Permanent Representative to UNESCO to Paris, and Dr. Vladimir Ryabinin from IOC UNESCO. We have their recorded messages. We actually have Dr. Ryabinin live, online. He will be joining us. We'll soon hear from him. It's not a recording. So I welcome and I invite all the dignitaries on stage. Thank you so much for making it possible. I'd actually like to invite Rupam Kalita and Satish to commence today's program with an invocation to the divine.
साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरवे Thank you.
Thank you, Satish and Rupam. Now I'd like to invite the dignitaries, accompanied by our Director Sir, to please proceed with the ceremonial lighting of the lamps. Thank you so much, sir and ma'am. I'd request our director, sir, to please felicitate our guests with a bouquet of flowers. Dr. Ravi Chandran. Thank you, sir. Please accept this token of our gratitude. Dr. Shubha Satyendranath. Thank you, ma'am. Dr. Nadia Pinadi. Thank you, ma'am. Dr. Kilaparthi Ramakrishna. Thank you, sir. And Dr. Peter M. Hogan. I'd request our director, sir, again to please deliver the welcome address now.
Thank you, Trishnita. Chief guest and our chief host also, Dr. M. Ravichandran, Secretary to the Ministry of Earth Sciences and the Chairman of our Governing Council. And we have online attendance. Dr. Vladimir couldn't join us today, but then Vladimir, I'm sure you're able to listen to us and then you are able to see us. Vladimir Rybnin, Executive Director of the Intergovernmental Oceanographic Commission of the UNESCO, and other delegates who haven't been able to join us but who have sent their video messages. Dr. Yutaka Mishida, who is Chairperson of the IOS UNESCO. We have colleagues from the DCU, Decade Collaborative Unit of the IOS UNESCO, Alison Clausen. And then we have our very respected Indian Ambassador and Permanent Representative of India to UNESCO, Mr. Vijal Sharma. He has sent us his message. And then, of course, most importantly, the plenary speakers who are on the dais with me, Dr. Shubha Satyendranath from the Plymouth Marine Lab, UK, Dr. Nadia Pinadi, who is from the University of Bologna, Italy, and who is also the head of the Decade Collaborative Center for Coastal Resilience, Dr. Kilaparthi Ramakrishna from the Woodsole Oceanographic Institution, Dr. Peter Hogan from the Institute of Marine Research, Norway, and he was also the former chair of the Intergovernmental Oceanographic Commission of the UNESCO. And we have amongst us several other delegates, experts, participants from various institutions, countries far and wide who are with us. We have directors of the MOS institutions. We have colleagues from the Ministry of Earth Sciences, the Ministry of Home Affairs, and Ministry of External Affairs who have helped us. We have colleagues from the media. A very warm good morning and welcome to all of you to INCOIS for this Indian Ocean Regional Conference, what is dubbed as the IOCON, Bridging Billions to Barcelona, IOCON 2024. I welcome you, all of you, warmly to this event. This regional event is being organized under the ambit of the UN Decade of Ocean Science for Sustainable Development, which most of you have heard about it by now, I'm sure. And it is being hosted by us in COIS and then technically supported by the Intergovernmental Oceanographic Commission of the UNESCO and then sponsored by the Ministry of Earth Sciences, Government of India. Now, why are we doing this conference actually? The timing is very important. This conference is expected to provide, you all know that UN Decade of Ocean Science, it was, it started in 2021, it's going to go on until 2030. And then there are several events that are being planned. The second Ocean Decade Conference is being planned very shortly in April in Barcelona. And then there are a lot of preparations that are going on globally, actually, to prepare ourselves as an ocean community to this conference. So this event here, it's important in the sense that it is actually bringing together a lot of stakeholders from the Indian Ocean region providing a voice to the Indian Ocean community, to all of us as a whole, and then feed important inputs from the region to the Ocean Decade Conference in Barcelona. And the conference also is expected to provide important inputs to the Vision 2030 process, a process that has been set in motion by the IOC, which actually is looking at where do we intend to be at the end of 2030, that's by the end of the decade, and then what are the performance indicators, what are the gaps, what are the strengths, what are the needs, and then how we are all as a community put together, we come together to address each of these challenges of the decade, and for each of these decade challenges, what is our strategic ambition, what is our strategic needs. To assess that, there is actually a working group, a process of 10 working groups looking at all these user needs and then preparing white papers, which will be finalized by the time we go to Barcelona. Now, those white papers are currently under public review, and this is an opportunity for us in this meeting to actually provide some valuable input from the region towards those white papers. So the way the conference has been organized, you will see that we'll be addressing, it is exactly the same, and it is intentionally so that it is structured on the lines of the Barcelona conference. And then we'll have very high-level, keynote speeches today until afternoon. Then we'll actually break out into parallel sessions. We'll be addressing each of those decade challenges. We'll have a presentation on the white papers. I would like to really acknowledge the vice chairs of each of those 10 working groups. Despite of the busy schedule, they have actually agreed to give presentations either physically or virtually or through one of their working group members. So those white papers will be presented in each of these individual parallel sessions over the next 3 days. And we'll also have related presentations, about 4 to 5 high-level presentations from within the region talking about that particular theme. These presenters include e-corps, from research institutions, from the industry, from philanthropies. So you'll find a lot of people sitting amongst us, representing all these institutions. So we'll have those presentations, and then we'll have a panel discussion where we'll have a lot of collaboration with the stakeholders, not just the speakers and panelists, but you'll be able to give your feedback into those presentations and into the white paper through an online tool that we have set up. Actually, we'll be showing you how to use that. So the large participation that you see here, I'm really glad, that all of you, several of you are able to even make it, frankly, because of the, with the holidays we had over the year end, in the summer holidays in the Northern Hemisphere, and then with the visa issues that, visa processes that you need to go through. But then we have had excellent support from our ministries in Delhi. We have almost 350 participants in this meeting are represented here, which I think is a great thing to have. So I'm sure you'll have a very good discussions over the next 3 days, and you'll also have exhibitions that have been organized in addition to the parallel sessions. There are several side events, and if you need any rooms to actually discuss things in a very bilateral way, there are actually opportunities for you to do that. So please ask us if you need such opportunities. And you are here at INCOIS, which Trishnita mentioned before. We are now turning 25. So that's a good landmark for us. And then we are trying to see where we've reached now and what is our future direction. I think some of the inputs from this conference. Thank you very much. So some of the inputs we would like to learn from this and take on board and see where we actually reach in the in the future years from the next 25 years. And one of the reasons that we have a large gathering again here is the timing, and then our collaboration with stakeholders like the ICG, IoT WMS. I see Rick Bailey here, who are going to have a steering group meeting back to back with this meeting. Then we have a training program of the POGO. You will see a lot of young trainees who have come from several countries to attend this training. So we have taken this as an opportunity to have them in this meeting as well, to give them a flavor of what is happening in the international space, and then also take their inputs as young career scientists. And then we also have a training program of the ITEC. We have the Colombo Security Conclave countries having meetings at INCOI. So we've put together all those things together so that you'll see colleagues from several, stakeholder groups represented here. And then we have colleagues who are here. Justin is going to come from the IOC. Nick is here. So several of colleagues. We have directors of all the, Indian national institutions working in oceanography. So I'd like to acknowledge their presence, all of their presence here. And I'd like to end with my logistics. It was supposed to be a very brief welcome address, but then when I got to the mic, I just started mentioning things which I thought was going to be important anyway. So bear with that. So several of you are staying on the campus. So you have the advantage of not, having, to go through the Hyderabad traffic. You can just walk down to the meeting on all the days. You can actually access our services in the canteen. And those of you who are staying in the hotels, of course, we are arranging transport for you to come in here. So all the tea breaks, lunch breaks, etc., will be arranged, just below. Besides the exhibition, there is a similar hall. So please feel free to join us. And then we know that there is a wide international community here. So we are trying to work on our cuisine. So we're trying to slightly expand our cuisine to make it a bit more continental. But, so bear with us actually while we do that. While you're here, please enjoy Hyderabad. Enjoy INCOIS because INCOIS does a lot of work on operational oceanography, starting right from observations to modeling to forecasting to services. We actually, the kind of work that we do is very niche. We actually form the bridge between the science that we all do as a community in ocean science, and then a bridge to the users who need certain services, that need to flow from this scientific knowledge. So that's the kind of bridge that we provide. So you'll find our activities interesting. We do things related to fisheries, tsunami warning, ocean forecasting, and so on and so forth. So we would like to engage with you and discuss with you on how we can collaborate. So with this welcome remarks, I would like to wish you all a very fruitful and productive meeting at INCOIS and then fruitful stay in Hyderabad. Thank you all for joining us.
Thank you, sir. As I mentioned earlier, we have a few very special messages from some of the special guests who could not make it in person. We have a recorded message from Ms. Alison Clausen. Before we hear the message, I'd like to briefly introduce her. Ms. Alison Clausen is a program specialist, Marine Policy and Regional Coordination Section for the Intergovernmental Oceanographic Commission, IOC UNESCO. She joined IOCCI as a program specialist in 2019 with over 20 years of professional experience in program and project development and management in the areas of marine conservation, marine policy, climate change adaptation. Before joining IOC, she was based in Madagascar, where she worked throughout the Western Indian Ocean region for the World Bank, and most recently as a regional director for the Madagascar and Western Indian Ocean program of the Wildlife Conservation Society. Prior to that, she lived in Vietnam, where she worked through Southeast Asia for a range of development banks, UN agencies, and NGO partners. Currently, she is playing a lead role in implementation of the Ocean Decade. We'd like to hear the recorded message, please.
Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, colleagues, it's such a pleasure to be able to present to you here today in this inaugural session of the Indian Ocean Regional Decade Conference. My only regret is that I can't be there with you in person. It is a real shame, but as many of you are aware, the Decade Coordination Unit of IOC UNESCO is very, very busy with the preparations for the Ocean Decade Conference in Barcelona, so unfortunately travel was not possible. But hopefully next time I'll be able to be with you. But this conference is such an important event, and I'd really like to start by thanking all of the team at INCOIS for this initiative to develop this conference. INCOIS has been a major partner, a long-term partner of not only IOC UNESCO, but the Ocean Decade, really since its inception. That support has continued to grow through the development of the Decade Collaborative Centre for the Indian Ocean, and now, of course, with this conference. And this conference, really comes at a pivotal time within the Ocean Decade. We have made so much progress together since 2021. We have close to 50 global programs. We have nearly 300 national and regional projects. There are 12 decentralised coordination structures, of which the INCOIS Decade Collaborative Centre is an absolute pillar. The latest progress report reported that there are over 70,000 individuals who are involved one way or another in decade actions. And of these, we're so proud that nearly 10% are early career ocean professionals and well over half are female, which shows that many of the principles of the decade around equity, inclusivity and diversity are being respected by all of our partners as they develop and implement their decade actions. So, of course, the decade has also started out on a very ambitious pathway throughout 2023 and 2024 with the Vision 2030 process. This is the process whereby we want to have a collective discussion and a participatory process to critically look at the progress of the decade so far, to look at the Ocean Decade Challenges and to see what the strategic ambition for these Ocean Decade Challenges is moving forward. The Vision 2030 process has resulted in the preparation of 10 draft white papers, one for each of the Ocean Decade Challenges, and again, staff from INCOIS have been very involved in the preparation of those white papers. And this conference is really the first regional conference that is going to be able to discuss and debate and dialogue this, and this strategic ambition setting was that it was a collective and participatory exercise. So the inputs that you discuss, the dialogue, the debate that you have during the next few days around the white papers, around the Ocean Decade Challenges, around the future of the decade itself are going to be critical. They're going to help us redefine and correct course on the global ambition of the Ocean Decade, but they're also importantly going to start really translating this global ambition to the most important regional priorities. We've got a lineup of incredible speakers at the conference, and I'm sure they'll be able to provoke thought, provoke discussion and provoke dialogue. And myself and all of the Decade Coordination Unit look forward to hearing the results, the synthesis, the outcomes, the key points of your discussions at the 2024 Ocean Decade Conference in Barcelona in April, when one of the flagship satellite events to be held during the conference will focus on the Indian Ocean and feedback from this conference. So it's going to be a very, very important moment for the region to bring the outcomes of this conference to the global stage and let people know what was discussed in this regional conference so that it can input to that global discussion. So I encourage you to be bold, to be frank, to really dig in and explore and discuss the white papers and give us your honest views and opinions on the achievements of the decade, of course, but also on where you feel the decade should be going to 2030 so we can achieve the collective vision. You can count on the support of myself, of all of the Decade Coordination Unit in that process. We hope to see many of you in Barcelona at the 2024 Ocean Decade Conference in April. And thanks again to INCOIS and all the team for the incredibly hard work to pull this conference together. I wish you all excellent discussions. As I said, I wish I could be there, but I'm looking forward to hearing the outcomes of the process and connecting with as many of you as possible in Barcelona and other meetings throughout the year. Thank you very much.
Thank you. We have another recorded message from Dr. Yutaka Mishida. Dr. Mishida is the elected chair to UNESCO's IOC for 2023 to 2025 biennium. He is a distinguished professor at the University of Tokyo who has been actively involved in the field of oceanography for nearly 40 years. He has been recognized for his outstanding achievements and contribution to international marine science cooperation, including, and he is also the recipient of the Japanese Prime Minister's Promoting Japan as a Maritime Nation Award and the IOC Westpac Outstanding Scientist Award in 2015. He has also played a key role in the establishment of the Marine Information Clearinghouse and Marine Cadastre. Could we please have the recording, please? Thank you.
Dr. Ravi Chandran, Secretary to Government of India, Minister of Earth Science, Dr. Peter Hogan, the former chair of the IOC Intergovernmental Oceanographic Commission, Dr. Rajiv Ryabinin, the Executive Secretary of the IOC, Dr. Subha Sachendra Nath, Remus Marine Laboratory, United Kingdom, Dr. Ramakrishna, Woods Hole Oceanographic Institution, United States of America, Dr. Nadia Pinaldi, University of Bologna, Italy. All distinguished delegates, experts, and participants, good morning. I'm Yutaka Michida, the chairperson of the Intergovernmental Oceanographic Commission of UNESCO. On behalf of the IOC, one of the co-sponsoring organizations for the promotion of the United Nations Decade Ocean Science for Sustainable Development, it is my great honor and pleasure to deliver a brief message at the occasion of this opening session of the Indian Ocean Regional Decade Conference, IOCON 2024. First of all, I would like to express my sincere appreciation to Dr. Srinivasa Kumar, the Director of Indian National Center for Ocean Information Services, INCOIS, for his kind invitation to me for this influential conference. However, I also need to express my deepest apologies not to have been able to join in person today. The region of Indian Ocean is certainly one of the key components in the system of the general circulation of the world oceans and global climate, both in long term and short term. The Indian Ocean region is also known that it gives an essential impact on the atmosphere and ocean system, even in the eastern or northeastern Asian countries. Having looked through the agenda of the present conference for the next 3 days, I have realized that there will be a series of stimulating talks on scientific findings and their application towards the goals of the described in the implementation plan of the decade, UN Decade Ocean Science, to be followed by panel discussions for more focused issues. As all of you are well aware of it, we are now in the midst of the UN Decade Ocean Science for Sustainable Development, achieve 7 societal outcomes by 2030 based on significantly enhanced ocean sciences and resulting in reaching at SDGs, particularly for SDG 14. We are now in the 4th year already, and I would say, as the chair of the IOC, that we need to accelerate our efforts toward 2030, the concluding year of the decade. The present conference will be a really good opportunity to identify the required next steps through discussions among participating experts. And the outcomes of the conference, I believe, will be presented to the forthcoming Global UN Decade Conference to be held in Barcelona in Spain in April. The IOC, Intergovernmental Oceanographic Commission of IOC, of UNESCO, as a competent organization in promotion of marine science in United Nations system, keeps actively participating in and contributing to oceanography at global and regional levels, in close and effective collaboration with partners in the region. One thing I'd like to highlight here is that the IOC decided to establish a regional subcommission for Central Indian Ocean called IOC Indio at the 32nd Assembly in June last year through the IOC Resolution A-32/1 entitled Establishment of an IOC Subcommission for the Central Indian Ocean, IOC Indio. IOC has set 5 high-level objectives in its medium-term strategy for 2022 to 2029, which contains, first, healthy ocean and sustained ocean ecosystem services; second, effective warning system and preparedness for tsunami and other ocean-related hazards; third, resilience to climate change and contribution to its mitigation; fourth, scientifically founded services for the sustainable ocean economy; and fifth, for foresight on emerging ocean science issues. The IOC also defines ocean research as its function A and observing system as a function B, then capacity development, the function of F, among its 6 functions listed in the portfolio. Along this line, I'd like to emphasize the importance of the conference for the next 3 days, where a series of invited keynotes and contributions from the wider communities and in wide range of subjects related to the decade of ocean science are to be presented and discussed, with being specifically targeted to a decade challenge in more direct manner in some agenda item. This conference certainly provides all participants and stakeholders with an opportunity for them to exchange the latest view regarding marine sciences in the region and to connect several communities such as science, governments, international organizations, and a project towards overall goals of the decade. I'd like to take this opportunity to express our sincere welcome and appreciation to INCOIS for hosting an UN Ocean Decade collaborative center for the Indian Ocean region, which certainly play a catalyzing role in promoting the decade-related activities and further enhancing and coordinating the cooperation among stakeholders in the region. Again, we are in the 4th year of the decade of ocean science, so one of the key words of the decade is promote science toward the ocean we want, which will surely lead us to the earth we want by improving our knowledge on the ocean. Finally, dear Chairperson and Dr. Srinivasa Kumar, Vice Chair of the ISC, my old and very good friend, I'd like to express my highest congratulations to you on your excellent leadership to kick off the conference today. With my deep appreciation to all of your efforts taken even long time prior to the conference as well. I do also look forward to all the outcomes and the conclusions of the conference, which will certainly be the key references for our future activities. All distinguished delegates, participants, I, on behalf of IRC, would like to express my sincere appreciation to all members of organizing bodies and local hosts, including those who worked behind the scene. Have a most constructive and successful conference for the next 3 days. Having said such, I conclude my short opening remarks on behalf of the IRC, looking forward to working even closer with all of you. Thank you very much for your kind attention.
Thank you. We also have another recorded message from Mr. Vishal V. Sharma. He is the ambassador, the permanent representative of India to UNESCO at Paris. May we have the recording, please?
Honorable Minister of State for Earth Sciences, Shri Kiran Rijiju ji, the guest of honor, Dr. V.K. Saraswat, member Niti Aayog, Dr. M. Ravichandran, Secretary, Ministry of Earth Sciences, Dr. T. Srinivasa Kumar, Director, INCOIS, distinguished colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, Namaste from Paris. It is indeed my pleasure and honor to be amidst you all, albeit virtually, at the Indian National Center for Ocean Information Services commemorates its Silver Jubilee anniversary today, 3rd of February 2024, and the IOCON 2024. I commend India's ocean-related initiatives led by the Ministry of Earth Sciences and INCOIS in Hyderabad. As a long-standing member of UNESCO's Intergovernmental Oceanographic Commission, or the IOC, India plays a vital role in hosting the IOGOOS Secretariat and managing key projects like IIOE2. Notably, India elevates its status in the IOC Indio and establishes itself as a regional leader in various ocean activities, fostering strong partnerships. As Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi has said, The Sagarmala scheme is strengthening modern connectivity in the coastal areas. India's ocean initiatives, that India is moving towards harnessing the full potential of its oceans under the maritime vision. This project further exemplifies India's commitment to holistic development, enhancing connectivity and promoting sustainable practices in the maritime sector. As a cornerstone of our maritime endeavors, Sagarmala complements our goal in the UNESCO Intergovernmental Oceanographic Commission, strengthening India's position as a regional leader in ocean-related activities and fostering strategic partnerships. India's commitment to the UN Ocean Decade is evident through the Decade Collaborative Center for the Indian Ocean Region, DCCIOR, currently hosting the Indian Ocean Regional Decade Conference 2024. This event brings together 300 participants from 30 countries. As the conference concludes with the INCOI's Silver Jubilee celebrations, I extend warm greetings, celebrating 25 years of excellence. Unfortunately, my work commitments in Paris prevent my physical attendance in Hyderabad. Nevertheless, on behalf of the permanent delegation of India to UNESCO, I convey best wishes to INCOI's Director Sri Dr. Srinivasa Kumar and the team for their future endeavors. Jai Hind and Bharat Mata Ki Jai.
Thank you for the warm wishes. We now would like to connect online with Dr. Vladimir Ryabinin. Dr. Ryabinin
Yes, I'm
is the
here. I hope you
executive.
hear me.
Welcome, sir. Before I invite you to deliver the Ocean Decade talk, I would like to briefly introduce you. Dr. Ryabinin is the Executive Secretary of the IOC, UNESCO, and Assistant Director General of UNESCO. He is an oceanographer, marine engineer, climatologist, and emeritus meteorologist of the Russian Federation. He originated many mathematical models for the ocean atmosphere, wind waves, and is an author of hundreds of scientific publications. Since the 1980s, he has been involved in various capacities in the activities of the UN and has been contributing to co-design and coordination of such international initiatives as the Global Ocean Observing System and the World Climate Research Program. In 2020, the Marine Technology Society awarded him with the Compass International Award as a recognition of his leadership in the design of international initiatives in the planning team for the UN Decade of Ocean Science for Sustainable Development. Thank you, sir. We are very fortunate to have you online. I would now please request you to go ahead with the Ocean Decade talk.
Thank you so much for this warm welcome. And once, like Alison, unfortunately, you can imagine what is happening in IOC now, ladies and gentlemen. So unfortunately, was unable to come to Hyderabad. This will remain my dream. So, Dr. Ravi Chandran, Secretary of Government of India, Ministry for Earth Sciences, I would say the only such ministry in the world. Dr. Srinivasa Kumar, the director of INCOIS, and I would like also to say quite unique specialist. A fantastic podium that I see here. Dr. Michida spoke, Dr. Peter Hogan, the current and past chairs of IOC, Dr. Ramakrishna, dear Rama, representing also one of the strongest institutes in the world and also working for United Nations, dear Nadia, and dear Dr. Setian Granat. We haven't yet met, but the rest is my basically like family. And I saw before the start so many dear faces in the room. Excellent translation, by the way. So let me now try, despite I'm a mathematician, try to do some sharing, and this will be a technically challenged mathematician. So let's see how it works. I will share my screen with you, and then I see it is now working. And please forgive me, it will be if it goes a little bit longer, but I think it's a very important message that I would like to give to you. First of all, I would like start that with something that I think is very important. You know, I'm going to present to you, as you see on the screen, only the tip of the iceberg. And we are trying to change the world, basically, when it comes to the ocean. And we know a lot about the ocean. You can see on this slide a lot of title pages of many assessments. We have in the world so many framework agreements, Paris Agreement, Biodiversity Agreement, agreements of fisheries on small island developing states, Sustainable Development Agenda. You know, the world is not short of agreements that are supposed to be taking us to a much more sustainable future. This is what is happening in the ocean. And this is just a list of, say, stressors that exist there. And very happy to quote from the Plymouth Marine Laboratory that the ocean is hot, sour, breathless. Not really happy to say so, but you know, this was a very good publication actually on that issue. So a lot of issues related to warming, a lot of issues related to acidification, to climate change, to the use of the ocean, to crimes in the ocean. So this is the current situation. You know, so despite the knowledge, despite the framework convention, this is the said reality where we are. And I would like to say that when we speak about Sustainable Development Agenda, I think it was the first World Ocean Assessment published in 2016 that clearly stated that humankind is still running out of time to start managing the ocean sustainably. And we embarked on this journey, but you know, the start was not very easy, and it was not considered as very important actually, because if you see on the slide how much money is spent on Sustainable Development Goal 14 focused on the ocean, you will see this is the least funded Sustainable Development Goal. And now let's see how the conventions work. We have, as I said, many conventions. So climate, biodiversity, fisheries, convention on plastic and many things. There are some protocols. So in those protocols and conventions that are not really focused on the ocean, ocean is definitely not the first priority. Announced several times that ocean is like a sick patient with multiple diseases. It is treated by good doctors. Unfortunately, the doctors do not speak to each other. And we need to really cure the patient rather than treat the diseases. We need to treat disease, but need to cure the patient anyway. And why we cannot no longer work in silos. Let's just look at the various tipping points that exist in the Earth system. Many of them are related to the ocean. Some of them are not related to the, all of them are related to the ocean. Some of them are not kind of focused on the ocean, like alpine glaciers and things like this, like forests. But you know, it's a complicated system. And we are actually now struggling to slow down the warming because, you know, of course, this is actually also a hypothesis, but you know, there is a possibility that a system may converge to something like some scientists call hothouse Earth. And the earlier we start to cut emissions, the faster we cut emissions, much less will be needed to do in the future. So that's the complication of the situation. What is the role of IUC in it? IUC started in 1960. And now it has turned into basically a governmental platform of United Nations enabling ocean science to address existential issues of humanity. The scope of work of IUC may be represented on the slide. Actually, Dr. Yutaka Michida spoke about IUC functions: ocean research, observing system, data management, assessment, information for policy, early warning services, sustainable management, capacity development. You know, capacity development being cross-cutting function of IUC. And you see that IUC is leading enormous number of leading programs for the world, spanning the whole wheel of capacity of value adding. And when I look at this slide, I actually can imagine that IOC needs to continue to grow, and this is really good that UNESCO recently decided basically to double the IOC regular program budget. So, but I mentioned also this most important statement of the World Ocean Assessment, that the world is running out of time to start managing the ocean sustainably. Let me show to you the slide. Many of you have seen it. So what are the ocean management domains that we are developing? We have to manage our relation with the ocean from the coast and to the coast, source to sea approach, maritime special planning as contribution to sustainable ocean economy. We need to protect the ocean through marine protected areas, various types of biosphere reserves, addressing large marine ecosystems, heritage sites, management of fisheries and aquaculture. Addressing ocean aspects of climate change is also a way of managing the ocean. We need to develop policies, provide real-time services, capacity development, and of course risk assessment. I would say that actually INCO is doing a lot of work in all of those domains, so I congratulate you, but I will do it more at the end of my presentation. So you will see that if we also approach the ocean management domains like many other conventions, will not change, because we need to find a way of really curing the patient. And the approach to this would be sustainable ocean planning. In that particular case, I think the high-level panel for sustainable ocean economy, and I congratulate Peter Hogan, who was and is the brain behind coordinating this scientific contribution to the panel. They coined the idea of sustainable ocean planning. I would like to add to this that, in order to make sure that we work not on silos and address the patient with multiple diseases, we need to have climate smart, ecosystem focused, ethical, equitable ocean management that is fully based on ocean science, and also focused on sustainable ocean economy, because unfortunately it is money that drive development very much. But the problem is that we have this idea, but a lot has to be constructed. In that case, I would like basically to bring to your attention how at the beginning of the century the framework for ocean observing was designed. So imagine that we have various big themes like climate, like ocean economy, because this slide is actually for the design of the global ocean observing system. If we think about what we need to do for the ocean management, I would say that would be climate, ocean health, ocean economy. Then we can see more specific areas where societal benefit can be created. And there will be talks in this session focusing on this, or for example, on health of the ocean, human health, coastal protection. So such big topics under the big themes. And they boil down to some specific issues. And then comes the part in this slide that is focused on observations. But we can also generate certain products and see who can generate those products. And the design of this is possible. Now that is my conviction that I think created, at least in my brain, after the 8 years of working as executive secretary of IOC. And that particular case, I think, the decade, and Alison spoke about this, is central for the development of science, and the Vision 2030 process is critical for our success, continuing success in the future. So yes, we need to have clean, healthy, resilient, productive, predictive, safe, accessible, and most importantly, inspiring, engaging ocean. And for that, we need to address the decade challenges. What is really important that the challenges are sometimes thematic, the 5 first challenges. The other challenges are infrastructural, and the other challenges are capacity development. Again, we cannot do the challenges in silos. In order, we need to engage the community, enable the community, address infrastructural issues in order to address thematic challenges. That should be the approach. So I hope very much that the process that Alison already presented to you, and many spoke, including Srinivas. You spoke about this, about the Vision 2030 process. This conference in Hyderabad is the prelude for the Ocean Decade Conference in Barcelona. But this all has to go to the United Nations processes, through the Costa Rica event in June this year, then to the big forum that is going to be just before the United Nations Ocean Conference in Nice, and we need to create political will for this. So that's basically our challenge, working together, designing together the science we need for the ocean we want. And on this, my last slide of the presentation, you see Peter Thompson, the United Nations Secretary General Special Envoy for the Ocean. And we actually came up with a proposal to the conference, organizers of the Conference of United Nations. We need, in my view, and also in Peter's view, we need to have a plan that would be a key outcome of United Nations Ocean Conference 2025 that will be focused on integrated ocean management. We can call it SDG 14 plan for United Nations, and that will be, if we agree to work together, and if we design what we can do towards sustainable ocean planning and management, then the benefits will come in the ocean health, in the climate change, in the ocean economy, well-being of people. So my plea to you is to continue to develop the science, bring your wisdom to Barcelona, and from Barcelona start working with a lot of stakeholders in ocean science, so we can enjoy the ocean we need, the earth we need, as Yutaka said. So with that, I'm stop sharing the screen, and also would like to say to you, ladies and gentlemen, that INCOIS is the dearest partner for IUC. You know, 25 years is still a young age, but you have achieved a lot. And when I think about IUC functions, observations, data management, tsunami, and many other things, capacity development, INCOIS is doing fantastic work. So with that, I thank you very much for what you're doing. More is on our plate to do, and I think we can do it if we all join forces, stop working in silos, and develop a complex approach for the ocean based on science. Many thanks for your attention.
Thank you. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you very much for being available for us today at this time. I'd now like to request Dr. M. Ravichandran, Secretary to the Government of India, Ministry of Earth Sciences, to please deliver the inaugural address.
Thank you. Dr. Vladimir Ryabnin, IOC UNESCO, Dr. Ramakrishna, Woods Hole Oceanographic Institution, Dr. Nadia, Decade Collaborative Center for Coastal Resilience, Italy, Dr. Peter Hagen, Institute of Marine Research, Norway, Dr. Subhash Satyendranath, Plymouth Marine Laboratory, UK, Dr. Srinivas Kumar, Director INCOIS, and other Directors of Ministry of Earth Sciences, distinguished guests, honorable delegates, my esteemed colleagues and friends, very good morning to all of you. On behalf of INCOIS, it is my great pleasure to welcome you all to this, the Indian Ocean Regional Ocean Decade Conference 2024. Today, we embark on a journey of collaboration, knowledge sharing, and commitment to address the critical challenges that are facing by our oceans. Though we live a on a blue planet with the oceans and seas covering more than 70% of the Earth's surface, and ocean provides countless benefits, and it is having a lot of opportunities it provides, but they have many challenges. That is what Dr. Vladimir just now mentioned. There are many challenges we are facing. Ocean feeds us, regulate our weather and climate, and generate most of the oxygen what we breathe. It provides both living and non-living resources, from fisheries to marine biotechnology, minerals to renewable energy. It also offers social and economic goods and services such as tourism, recreation, maritime transport, and security and coastal protection. It is imperative to understand the ocean for better management, to conserve, protect, and restore for us as well as for future generations. I commend INCOIS for organizing this conference dedicated to address the challenges of the ocean decade. As you all aware, the United Nations has declared the years 2021 to 2030 as the ocean decade, with the goal for advancing global efforts to sustainably manage and protect the world oceans. Serving as a significant milestone en route to 2030, particularly leading up to the 2024 Barcelona conference, this event will set up a stage for addressing the full range of ocean decade challenges, including critical issues such as climate change, food security, sustainable management of biodiversity, sustainable ocean economy, marine pollution, and coastal resilience to ocean hazards. As we gather today, we recognize the immense significance of the ocean decade. This transformative initiative serves as a catalyst for global action, urging us to work collectively towards the sustainable management and conservation of our precious ocean. We are already halfway through the ocean decade, and the next 6 years are going to be more important and pivotal as we strive to understand, harness, and protect the potential of our ocean for the well-being of the present and future generations. To support and organize ongoing decade in actions, IOC UNESCO has officially designated certain institutions as decade collaborative centers and decade coordination offices. I feel immensely proud to inform you that INCOIS is recognized as one of the decade collaborative center for this region, especially Indian Ocean region, DCC-IOR. As part of its commitment, the DCC-IOR is organizing the Indian Ocean Regional Conference today, this conference, mainly bridging billions to Barcelona, an official prelude to the Ocean Decade Conference 2024. This conference provides a platform to engage in meaningful discussions, share innovative solutions, and strengthen our resolve to address ocean decade challenges. To brief you about the objectives of the conference, I would like to inform you that the Ocean Decade is working on a plan called Vision 2030 to boost the efforts for ocean knowledge-based solutions. This is to figure out how to measure success in solving the 10 challenges and 7 outcomes on the road to 2030, and for that purpose, a set of white papers are developed by the Vision 2030 working groups, one for each decade challenges. These documents will provide a detailed approach covering user needs, priority data sets, science gaps, and strategic measures needed to achieve each challenge's objective by the end of this ocean decade. This plan will look at what's happening now, what's missing, what are the gap areas, and what users really need. And it aims to set a clear target and goals, ensuring effective collective efforts to address the challenges of the ocean decade. The Indian Ocean Regional Ocean Decade Conference aims to adopt active participation and collaboration among stakeholders of the Indian Ocean region within the framework of the ocean decade. Of course, the primary objectives are involving and engaging key stakeholders in ocean decade activities and providing a platform for meaningful deliberations. Of course, with a specific focus on the Indian Ocean regions, we aspire to gather valuable regional inputs from different stakeholders to contribute to the Ocean Decade Conference that will be held in Barcelona. With the participation around more than 300 delegates from more than 30 countries, this event serves as a nexus for interaction and networking among not only Indian Ocean stakeholders, but from other regions and national decade coordination committees, fostering a collaborative environment. Additionally, it provides a unique opportunity for representatives from earlier career ocean professionals, researchers, academicians, industries, social scientists, NGOs, and other ocean stakeholders to voice their concerns and expectations, creating a holistic dialogue on the sustainable future for our oceans. Towards this endeavor, Government of India has initiated at the same time 2021 the Deep Ocean Mission to understand and explore the ocean in a sustainable manner, which include technology and innovation, ocean observation, modeling, and including the climate change perspectives, harnessing ocean resources, both living and non-living resources in sustainable way, biodiversity, ocean health, and other most of the challenges that put forth in the ocean decade. I extend my gratitude to our esteemed speakers, sponsors, partners, and volunteers who have played a pivotal role in making this conference a reality. Your dedication to the cause of ocean conservation is truly commendable. Over the next 3 days, we will delve into crucial topics such as climate change and ocean health, biodiversity conservation, marine pollution, sustainable fisheries, blue economy opportunities, technology and innovation, community engagement and education, and ocean governance and international collaborations. All these things we will be discussing. Our goal is not only to address the challenges, but also to explore actionable, implementable strategies and foster collaboration that will leave lasting for the future. I want to express my sincere hope that this conference become very important for all of us, so that some big message we will take it to the Barcelona, so that everybody feel for this Indian Ocean and also the global oceans. To conclude, I would like to emphasize a quote from Barcelona conference: "The challenges facing the ocean are immense, but no single nation or sector can tackle them alone." So thank you for your presence, your passion, and your commitment to this cause. Let us embark on this journey together. Welcome to the Indian Ocean Regional Ocean Decade Conference 2024. Thank you, one and all.
I now request the dignitaries accompanied by Dr. Ravichandran and Dr. T. Srinivas Kumar to please proceed towards ground floor. We have an exhibition there from some of the premier institutions of India and also from industry companies. Also, there are beverages and refreshments for everyone. We would come back here to convene the plenary session again at 11:30. There are quite a few plenary talks, very interesting ones. I please now request our director, sir, to help the dignitaries towards the inauguration hall. Thank you.